Gaeilge Weekly is brought to you by Learn Irish Online. For way more shows, videos, podcasts and courses for learning the language, head to learnirishonline.com or patreon.com/Learn Irish Online. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, mods and wa, trononama, how are we all doing? Conas the Tom Woods Galer. This week on Sockton Show, you're very, very, very welcome, as always, to Gaeilge Weekly. So fáilte mór mílte romh chuig Gaeilge Weekly, and you're now listening to episode number 111, 111. Thud winis ag éisteach le agrán a haon. In other words, agrán céad is a haonsaig. So thank you very much for tuning in. Gur míle mágah mar is gnách, as usual, as túnal is Jack. And thank you as always for supporting Gaeilge Weekly, for supporting Learn Irish Online, and more than anything, supporting the Irish language. Gur míle mágah mar is gnách as ag tacu le Gaeilge Weekly, ag tacu le Learn Irish Online, ag tacu leis an Gaeilge. Firstly, bit of housekeeping before we get going. So just cúpla rud riv os níon much. Firstly, you may have heard there's no intro music on the podcast this week. Peidir gur thula sibh nach will, no nach rau, in ceol intro on Bud Crail on Sockton Show. Just removing it for a while, gonna see how it goes. I like getting into things quicker. It's matlam stocha just a bheith díorchas jig ag tosú le rudí níos tapúla faster. When I'm listening to a podcast myself, nar bhín mise géisteach le Bud Crail me haon. I hate when you have to go through the first 3, 4, 5 minutes to get to the actual podcast. The body of the podcast itself is full. Nar bhíonar dul tríd an chéad cúpla nóméid riv os níon on Bud Crail mar sceart before it starts properly. So just taking out, but I know a lot of people do like the music and like that specific song. Tá sagam tatníon an tarrán sin le Landini. Now freshen tá Landini nach bhfuil haon sim acu san áran sin, agus actually tá cúpla rifust fights agam. I've gotten a few emails before, just beidir gán na trí rifust, no gán na trí beidir trocht an sin or YouTube, no, or Spotify, 2 or 3 comments there on YouTube or Spotify saying, can you please remove the intro music? It's not nice at all. But it'll still be there just as the outro music instead. So tá sé hun fannacht mar chuid gen Bud Crail, ach just mar an outro ní bhaid sé le clostal won't be to be heard at the start of the podcast ag tús on Bud Crail for a few weeks anyway, and we'll see how it goes for a cúpla seacht an airnas agus feici mud cén chuí ó bhfuil sé. As well as that, the builders are in, or the painters are in, bit of construction going on outside. The na hibrithe tógála, the construction or building workers, tíomh an sock. Ceapan actually níotá siad ag paintal níos mó ná aon radel. I think today they're painting more than anything else. Hopefully that won't bother you, or you won't even be able to hear us. Cúna J ní bhaid sibh in an é sin chostal agus níl sé chun cur stock irv. I'm pretty good now with Audacity, the software I use for this. Tá mé soch ma anis le Audacity an bugari a bhín mé a gúsáid le seo agus le gacrad says audio based le Learn Irish Online buinse le fum, kind of connected to sound on LIO or on Gaeilge Weekly, so I don't think you should be able to hear anything in the background. Ní cheapan go mai sibh in an aon rud chostal. So chulra, but if you can, apologies, not much I can do about it. Unfortunately, at this point, níl mór an gur féidir an Jane if we ag an muinte seo. So, aside from that, this week's podcast is going to be fairly focused on sport and kind of current sport or ongoing sport. So by on Bud Crail an Sockton so dírithe isteach sport, agus sport atá siúl inis, sport ratha, kind of current sport. Ach níos mó na aon rud sport a bhí siúl ag an tíir seachtain. I know some people listening aren't interested in sport. Also won't be a analysis of, this player is playing well or this transferent. I'm not interested in any of that nonsense. Is ní léon simán sa seafód sin. I like sport more so for the narrative, the different stories, the romance connected to it from a sociological, sometimes even political point of view, the bigger picture. Smatlam sport le ruddy cosula sin an Ivani smó, I guess. So the bigger picture, the bigger image of what's going on around the sport, na scéalta ag buint leis, the stories connected to it, and yeah, just the adventure, I guess, involved with it. That's a lot more interesting than, Isaac is going to Liverpool for 120 million. That has nothing to do with me or my life. So most of the kind of sports stories I'll tell today are going to go down different paths that you might not expect. So chuid is mó gena scéal ta sport a bhés mé ag láirtfú inne by stig dul istócha idsróna nach mai sibh sú leis ceapam. So starting off, I guess the first one that I've written down here was the main bit of sport I was watching, and I think this is a good week to do it. Just shocked on what I chun a show a yenu marvi a lawn sport. There was a lot of sport on, especially in Ireland or connected to Ireland over the weekend. A lawn sport buintir le éireann agus because of that, Marial Shin. This podcast is called Náisiúnta, meaning national, and they're Náisiúnta, the national team, and so on. So firstly, the big one for me was Ireland-Hungary on Saturday. On Ceannas Mó Dumsa, bhí sé sin mar éire in Ungra, on sin air on Saturn. While you're listening to this, Ireland will have already played Armenia, unless you're listening the second it goes out on Patreon. Then I think it'll be coming out an hour before kickoff by TikTok the mock bids or one Riv on kickoff. I think 6 o'clock, is it 6 o'clock Spanish time here for that game in a few hours. Looking forward to that. Tá sé ag tosú hart sé clog on Spawn, well hart Jerick a sé clog exactly at 6 o'clock. So if Ireland lose that game or draw that game, then a lot of what I'm talking about will all be pointless here. Mas rudé go gailtí éire an chluithe sin ní fiú really lauert faoin qualification campaign. It's not worth it kind of speaking about stoch and fiachtas cáiliachta. So, but anyway, Ireland have begun their qualifying campaign for the World Cup next year in the US, Canada and Mexico. So tá fiachtas cáiliachta na héireann tosíthe acu inis le haid current downda on soccer on bhlín se thugan san stáidéntia Mexico agus Canada. And Hungary was a massive game on Saturday. Basically, Ireland are in a group of 4 teams. Tá éire in Rupa le Cera Uran, no 3 Uranella, so Cera Uran Sunum Milan, so 4 teams in total, 3 of the teams, Portugal, Armenia and Hungary. On Fortsingale, Armenia agus Ungar. It's kind of taken for granted or expected, so it's inter tal of slán gohfuil on Fortsingale, chun creichnú mar on Gade Éireann. So Portugal will finish in the first place as the first team. Armenia probably is last. Again, famous last words because we're about to play Armenia away from home. Thomas son Emirates and I Armenia Aspalia, and we always kind of struggle away from home. Well, we always struggle at home as well, so what difference does it make? You go only Beamjig Strackles, few Sinaviva, Lansdowne Road on sin, so Keen Zifrucht again and Shay. But it's generally kind of considered the consensus, captor really Gamaishe Idzir Onungar agus Éire le haid an dara áit sin. It'll be between Ireland and Hungary for that second place, and that second place gets you into playoff to qualify for the World Cup. Má chreithníonn tú sa dara áit an sin tá tú an leanúint good see na playoffs agus sa playoffs tá tú an cháú le haid an current downda an bhlín se thugan. So, Ireland's played Hungary in their first game, which needless to say is a big one. It's really probably going to come down to the 2 games against Hungary. Chance ma go mai sé Kate van Gade, no built not Kate van Gade, almost 100% ag bra air on dá chluthe leis an Ungar, depending on the 2 games at Hungary. So we had won them, the first one in Dublin there at the other night, and it was a 2-2 draw, but Ireland's lucky to get that 2-2 draw. Bhí an tá air and hon co-score all Sajera in an Ungar. Bhí drochús no tús uafásach ag sa chéad leas, so Ireland had an awful start in the first half. I think 2-0 down when 15 or 20 minutes. Dó an ád gotí an Ungar. Tíbhas siad a 5 nóid ag nó 5 nóid ach buics le dia. Thank God, in the second half, able to come back. Got a bit lucky, red card for Hungary, Cortez Arag, like Ungar, but the result is all that matters. Well, not all that matters, but we got the results in the end. Performance on Thura. So Dara, and thankfully we're still alive, because to lose that first game against Hungary, you could argue how much do any of the other games mean then. It would be unlikely that we'd get through. Ní bheith really more an chance agin hon leanúint arai gotí an chéad bhauta eile to move on to the next round. So thankfully we got a draw. Not the best result either. I mean, Hungary aren't exactly Brazil, but neither are we. So overall okay, and a good chance ma that it'll go down to the last game of the group in November on Cluiche Deireanach Imi na Sauna against Hungary in Budapest, in Ungara Hall on Shin I Budapest. Play Portugal and Armenia. I'm actually thinking of crossing the border to go to that Portugal game. It's over in Lisbon at Táisiúla Lisbon on Víse Hugan next month. And of course from here, from Seville, it's about 6 or 7 hours on the bus or 1 hour flight. I'm not sure really if there are any flights going that morning or the night before, so I might not be able to fly there. I'd have to get the bus over, but I could get the flight back the next day. Viechmain on Etzel to Allarash on Lauder Gyun. So half thinking about going to that. I've never been to an Ireland game, even back home in Ireland. Few Arash in Éireann, near Marive, Cluiche, in Lansdowne Road. So I'd love to go, and even on an Irish away day where the Irish fans take over the city. Away day, agus na Héireann ag teachtasteach, agus simple na Charrach. I think it'd be really cool, and I'd love to go. And Lisbon would be a good city to do it in, even though I've only been to Lisbon once and I didn't like it too much, but I think it would be a different experience going this time and end of the summer and all the rest of it. Probably still good weather. Chance ma Kamai on I'm sure Gajas, and a lot of Irish have gone over to Armenia today. Tá near well, cluster Enos, it's kind of heard or reported Gwil lá nearnig a Yerevan and Príomh-Chathair on Armenia, the capital city of Armenia, for that match. So if people are going all the way over there and getting 2 or 3 connecting flights, then think about the amount of people will just get the one direct flight from Knock or Shannon or wherever to Faro or Lisbon and go to the match. Probably 5 or 10,000. She'll go over a chance mag my Cuig no Zep Mila Arachi and Shin good Lisbon on Víse Hugan. So thinking of going over myself, but anyway, story for a different day. But I guess with soccer, I'm not that interested in soccer nowadays. More in simagam soccer na leihananta seo. You know, when I was younger, I suppose like a lot of people in Ireland, I was interested in the Premier League and Liverpool and different stuff. Vi simagam Serene Premier, agus Larfol, agus Ruddy Casula Shin. But nowadays, things just as I get older, you know, people who listen to the podcast will know this. Dini of eating age, the Glesham Budkerla, Garilta regularly. By Shisha Irola Sag of Hanafane, but I'm kind of, I suppose, quite old school for someone who's fairly young. I saw whole school like Shan Imstria, like Dina saw Hogue. You know, I don't really have any time for all this nonsense around transfers and hundreds of millions and players on social media. And I'm not one of these people that says, oh, the game's gone and it was better 30 years ago. Visha Wadney's far struck up Lino, and there's a lot of things that are way better now. It's a lot less violence in the game. It's a lot safer game. You're a lot less likely to get your legs broken. You know, Neil and Shans Kane, the goal to Honda Chossa of Rishu when you're playing now, and to go to a game is a much better experience now, or a much safer experience, at least for families, than it would have been 20-30 years ago. Tá sé wadní sábhailtenis le haid cluine agus like páistí agus marrá freisin the stadiums in England, for example, are much more welcoming now for women and children than they would have been 30 years ago, where they would have been quite dangerous at times. Bhíodh siad sagt an séiric ag ámantí. So as I always say in the podcast when I'm talking about these things, mar Jerem igoni an budcréile nar bhí me ag labhairt faoin rudí seo. I don't think things were better 30 years ago. I don't think things were worse. They were different. That's all. Bhí siad different sin a rud. Ní raibh siad really níos fearr, no níos massa, no, whatever. So, but I don't really like club football now in terms of the amount of nonsense and the whole Sky Sports culture of it, and transfers and the dehumanization of managers and players. People talk about them as if they're subhuman sometimes, like, and you know, people saying, oh, you have no loyalty, and it's like, they can go work where they want. If someone wants to go to Spain and play for Barcelona or Madrid, why not? Let them live their life, you know. The Kaitu Ida Liggins a sail hain a warchtal. But anyway, story for a different day. But I still quite like international football. Is matlam is stocha soccer internationalta, because I don't think it has changed much in 20-30 years. Ní chapman go bhfuil sé ahrithe mór le fithe nó trucha blin anús. Of course, it is different, you know, tossed rule, but not that much, because it's still kind of the same idea of like just once every few months, the best players from one country kind of get together and play. They only train for a day or two and then they go away and play this match, you know, beats the train all for a law no go, and there's not much tactics involved really, no more in tactically. Maybe there is a major tournaments where they have a month or two together to train. Beidir goal nís mó tactici. Beidir sna tournaments sin cosúil current down no Euros, no Rodegan mar sin, because they're together for a month or two. But Ireland, let's say this week, they're together for whatever 3 days before playing Hungary, or 4 days. There wasn't much chance for them to do much tactical work. Ní raibh mór an seans acu chun mór an obair tactici a dhéanamh ribh an cluiche. And I love the European element of this, just a draw, and it's okay, you're going away to the Faroe Islands playing against some part-timers, thought to dul go Ilan Faro ag imirt in daoine nach bhfuil in éimeoirí profisiúnta. And then a few days later, you're playing away in Germany in one of the biggest stadiums in the world against Florian Wirtz and Manuel Neuer and the best players in the world. Cúpla lá i níos sin thought to gimmert in eine Germana i gimmert in eine himroi is far down. I gans in the stad is more down in one of the biggest stadiums. I love that element of it. Just matlam an gné sinja is stocha. And yeah, like even just, Ireland now today playing in Yerevan, you'll know the results probably while you're listening to this by an thura Erola Sagav August Chiv Shagaish the Clasho, but going to kind of a rundown Soviet state. And I was interested. I was actually sent a message to Dan McDonnell, who is kind of probably the biggest Irish soccer journalist there is. Chance má gohfuil sé mar nuair sure is mó is soccer na here, and he does a lot of work League of Ireland, but also the Irish national team dinna tail on upper leis on League of Ireland Strat na Héireann a chomh mála sin leis an Fear Náisiúnta. And he's over in Yerevan at the moment. And I sent a message kind of on a whim on the business page. I follow him, and when you have a blue tick, as I do on the business page, sometimes you get replies from people, I suppose more often than not. Is dócha go mín tuag fáil replies agus fraggraí ó chuoine níos minicha ná míon tú ag fáil na fraggraí sin. And I kind of asked him, because he had a picture up in Yerevan, and he said, has it changed much since 2010? Because I have this memory again of, and this, I suppose, goes into next thing I want to talk about, Sean Craig Rodella, my kind of memories of Ireland's qualification campaigns through the years. And I remember Ireland going to Armenia 2010 and watching that game and how tough it was, and a lot of Irish players saying how it was like a Soviet state, we should still stát Sovéadach ag an am, because it was only, of course, 17, 18, 19 years after the fall of the Soviet Union, and Armenia would have been very poor at the time. Sure, still is to some extent, but I texted him and said, has it changed much in those years? He said, yeah, it's come on a good bit in the last 12 or 13 years, like Gav Lean, no 3 Blina Jeg, Anus Tha, Alan Afrihil Effectal. That's actually 15 years ago now. Jesus, Coog Blina Jeg, Anish. And yeah, it's really come on in the last 15 years. And I find that stuff interesting as well, or I don't know, again, that kind of element, going to Andorra and you could be playing at home to Spain in the same week, and the difference, different, and always having to play in that country and then having to host that country, Dulgity and Tirshin, and it's more old school, I think. And I have great memories of growing up. I think it's great, sport, Irish sport on free-to-air television, and how important that is. Sport ar an telefish Sir and Ashka or RTE nor Virgin Media or TV3. Mark Leither, Rivershaw, TG Cahar, Arnoy, TG Cahar, of course, as well. How important it is to have free-to-air sport there as well, and different types of free-to-air sport. But I have great memories of watching, the first campaign I watched, I guess, was the Euro 2008 qualification. I gave it to the Public Nasheka, agus San Marino, agus on Chypre, Cyprus, and the Czech Republic. It was called the Czech Republic at the time. They hadn't changed their name at that point to Czechia, so I can say that. And Cyprus and Germany as well, and Hermon. And then that wasn't really a good campaign. Then 2010 campaign, almost beating Italy, Norvuimud in Aina Hidala, and then conceding the last minute goal at home in Croke Park, Borchen Crochig. And then the hand of frog, or the hand of God, depending on what you want to call it. Henri in Paris, Henri and Boris, and the heartbreak that night. And then going to Estonia and Russia, the next campaign, and qualifying a Kalu and Chinlai Euro, Gavel Sadoya, Gigdol, Gian Stone, Agus Egdol, Gian Roosh. And what a brilliant campaign that was. Feachtas Gen Sco a bhí ann an sin. And yeah, just how much it changes. 2014 is a terrible campaign. 2016 was a lot better. We got the shades go what níos far, winning against Germany, drawing against Germany in Germany, fall co-score in Aina Germana, sa German, in Gelsenkirchen, agus an sin ag fall an bua im lá clia again the win in Dublin, Shane Long scoring the goal, and then some terrible campaigns after that. Cúpla feachtas uafásach in sin, and I've only ever seen us qualify for two things, 2 Euros, and that's been it. One of the Euros we didn't do anything at because we were in the group death. Ceann in the Euros sin bhíimid gúfásach agus bhíimid sa group of death on grúpa is Jacra. So Euro 2016 really is only my kind of story, I guess, to tell in terms of following it. Well, no, that's not true, actually. No, I shouldn't say that. Ní chearta mé sin rocks, even the losses and even the draws, and even going away to Portugal a few years ago. Obviously, not, I didn't go myself, but watching at home in Ireland, ag féchant an glithe sin in Éireann, and Ronaldo scoring the 2 goals at the end, and that's still stories and the ups and downs of it. I hate when people are saying, people might speak about, for example, where Irish football is or where Irish soccer is, being dína glárts faoi, cin áit so bhfuil soccer na hÉireann, and people speak about, oh, well, the national team isn't doing good, so it's in a bad place. And it's like, what does the national team have to do with it? Like, Neil, cin buinte tá ag for náisiúnta na hÉireann leis in, where the game is more measured by how the FAI are doing, and grassroots football and funding for grassroots football and how many people are playing the game, and méid daoine ag gimmerts on sport agus an muoinú atá the funding fresh line sport. That's how you measure the game. Okay, I know sometimes how well the international team tá go mórnta céigh ma agus atá for náisiúnta na hÉireann ag déanú tá tionchar ag sin. That has an impact or influence on how the rest of the sport, does at more grassroots level, level stocha níos lú nó níos ísle, cévid muoinú atá ann, and cévid daoine, gimmert cévid daoine, bhfuil ag géirí carú amach le soccer, how many people want to help out with soccer in terms of volunteers and all that. But to measure it just by, sure, if Ireland's going to win a World Cup now, it's brilliant, it's amazing, and I really hope Ireland's qualify for World Cup next year. But it's like, what difference does it make? The difference that it really makes and what's important is, again, grassroots level and your local club and things like that. League of Ireland, that there's more stuff there for League of Ireland. Well, níos more rudí an sin like League of Ireland, and I was speaking about that last week a bit in the podcast. If you make large buganín faoi sin an Taclan Sugan, an bud crail all the great things happening in Ireland at the moment. Na rudí iontacha tarsúil in Éireann faoi láthair, and League of Ireland's attendances, the amount of people who are going to the games on méid daoine ag dul sin cluiche, that's what's important. But the national team is a fun thing to follow, but it's not the be all and end all at the same time. But it is good for national mood as well if Ireland are doing well. Does go mal hais stocha humor na tíre mátá éire ag dul go más. So leúna dé agus sibse ag éisle seo táid dúirg tar éis buchans. Tá sin rá go aon mud bu dó a hain in Armenia. I think we'll win 2-1 against Armenia. But you know what? I'm going to be more optimistic. I'm going to say 3-1. We win against the Armenians. Maybe go behind, but then after that, it's easy because we always go behind. You go only being with a Kylo Mac, Tucson Cleha, going to lose out at the start of the game and give away a goal. It was fine. And Frasra, cool, the opposition get a goal. But hopefully today that doesn't happen. But former dictator will. But Armenia are not good. They lost at home to the Faroe Islands last year. Kyle Sheed, Yerevan in Armenia and the Faroes, no, the Faroe Islands. I was speaking there about terrestrial TV and free-to-air sport and the importance that I suppose that's changed quite a bit in my lifetime. And tá sé sin tar éis seachthrú go mór nó tá lá áfraí a really le feicáil an sin le 10 mlína anús 2 bliana deag anús over the last 10 or 15 years, and less sport being free to air. I think Ireland's, we've lost out on some things, but still, thankfully, stuff, for example, like all the qualifiers are there. And the Women's World Cup is on at the moment on RTE. Tá current down on rugby in the man siúil faoi láthair RTE. And I was just flicking through, I was trying to get to the Irish Open actually on Sunday in terms of on RTE. If you make Dana work, hun féchans an Irish Open on RTE. And I came across the Women's Rugby World Cup and it was on via Sogum Grouche Shul, and I watched kind of 2 minutes of the Ireland New Zealand game. Not going to claim to say I watched load of it or watch much women's sport. I don't, to be honest. Ní bhín make vacants or more on sport na man. Chula bheith fear enough, but I watched a minute or two of it. But what struck me was I was watching a bit of it and I saw New Zealand's jersey Hunnic mé ar Ganzi na Nua-Héileán hí na blianta scrífa. And the years were written, and I presume, I still don't know actually, I haven't checked this, ní dhearna mé check seo, but I presume it was the years that New Zealand have won the tournament. Bhí mé ceapa, caithfidh sé sin a bheith na blianta a bhuaigh Nua-Héileán on Curran, agus on Curran down at the World Cup. And I kind of started thinking, hold on, the Men's Rugby World Cup, here's a good trivia question for you. When was the first Men's Rugby World Cup? Cantna bhí an chéad Curran down that Lahai na Fear. Rugby. And it was 1987, Níte Gogto Shacht. Fairly late or fairly recent, Soch Janach. You know, easy to forget. Even rugby in Ireland for the men's game wasn't professional till 2000, I think. Ní raibh sé mar sport garamúil go dtí beidir an bhliain gámhíle ceapan. So I was thinking, geez, the women's one mustn't have started until recently. And then I found out, no, it actually started pretty much the same time. It started in 1991. But this shows you, and I think this is brilliant, and this is something that's changed, I suppose, my outlook, and this has changed over the last few years. Tá stocha me dearcha ahrithe madra le seo le cúpla bliain anús. I used to kind of, a lot of the things with women's sport now and different types of sports that are on TV, I used to think, I don't really see that as that important, supply and demand. If people want to watch it, then it should be on. But if people don't want to watch it, and probably not that many people do, to be, let's be very honest here, a lot less people will watch Ireland New Zealand in the Women's Rugby World Cup by wadní slúdínig féchans here, éire na Nua-Héileán, I gurran down da an rugby, na man, I gumprod le nuair Zimmer era, fur in the far, and the men's team against New Zealand 2 years ago in the World Cup. So I used to kind of think, if we make Kappa beidir cúpla bliain and well, should only be on if the demand is there, mutadini igiri. But that's really changed last few years because I've realised how important other things are in terms of visibility. Fechálachas go bhfuil an chluiche le feicáil, that the game, and what I don't mean that specific game, but the sport go bhfuil til le feicáil, and that if you're a young girl in Ireland and you don't see women playing rugby, must rud é go gur Colleen Ogu in air and listen ní eccan tú marrá Gimmerts rugby, you're never going to think you can play it. And as well as that, if it's not on TV, if it's not being attended, if it's not being pushed, if it's not giving funding, it's never going to have the chance to grow, because people are at the top are just going to prioritise men's rugby again and again and again. And that's the case in a lot of sports or a lot of industries. Tá sé sin, constatá sé in the land sports agus land sunscáil freshen. And I suppose that's something that's changed me over the last few years. Now I really understand, seeing there at the weekend, the amount of people that were at the Ireland New Zealand game on Meads Dini, Vian, Egan Clihan, and I'm sure, there's some things that still a lot of the women playing would like to see brought in that are in the men's game that aren't in the women's game at all. Le Fall and Shane, sport, Navar, Knockwill, Le Fall, is sport, Naman. But for the most part, for me, you've just watched a few minutes of it. Looks same setup, proper stadium, proper facilities, proper ref and touch line and all that, touch judges. And that wasn't the case, obviously, years ago. And you're mar sin na blianta hin. And it's something I realised now that I didn't think about a few years ago, how important that stuff is. Kick of tábhachtach ruddy cosúil leis sin, even in other aspects, not to get too political about ní mé gur airí politúil fao seo. I'm trying to make big political or serious points on this podcast. Ní mé riomh really géirí nó ag déanúir ton pointy níos mó ar budgur. But even things like Pride, let's say, and having Pride on in every city every year, Pride the Versúil, Brod mar Gleater Ascoelga, Brod as it's called in Irish, even having that on every year in July or June, or I know different cities have it different times a year. I Gahrica, Difriúla, bín siar Siúl, Almonty, Difriúla, Gach Blin. But even having that, I would have thought a few years ago, I don't know, is that important? Or, if people want to do it, fine, but should funding be given to it? On Garth can make moino and saying on realtors from the government or whatever. And now I realise it's so important. Think how tough it is to be so many parts of the world, and even in, more progressive places like Ireland, if you're not in a nice progressive cosúil era, how tough it is to be gay growing up and having to come out to your parents agus caiidú sin ará le a hismóirí, and you never feel fully accepted, and maybe you never feel fully safe. A lot of places ní bhíonn tú céad fan géad sábhailteáil an áitina, and you have to put up with so much hatred and nonsense from other people. Caiid tú déilá leis an méid sin, fua ó dhaoine eile agus méid sin seafód ó dhaoine eile. You need that day and that visibility and that weekend or festival. Tá an féile sin ó an lá sin ó an deir seachtainna sin ag tastal wet to feel like it's fine. You can do this and you can be yourself and you don't have to be scared. Ní chaithí agla bheirt and so on. That's something that's really changed me in the last few years. But anyway, to get back to my points, Phil Rash my Fuinchicks, this podcast has turned into pretty long podcast, but I suppose more listening practice for you guys. Chance these small Steve shot the World Cup, the Women's Rugby World Cup, for the first one was 1991. And I'm going to get up the Wikipedia to my hun on Wikipedia all on show, just to give you an idea of the scale of it. So, Bhí sé ar siúl ar feadh ní lá, it was on for 9 days in 1991. The Women's Rugby World Cup, 1991, was the first Women's Rugby World Cup. The tournament was not approved by the International Rugby Board, yet it still went ahead despite the disapproval of the sport's governing body. France confirmed their participation only minutes before the draw was made on 26th of February, and that draw was made only 5 or 6 weeks before the tournament itself started. Rinnew an tairn sin sé seachtain nó cúig seachtain fiú ribh an chomórta sé hain. Representatives of the IRB, WRFU and RFU attended the final, but it was not until 2009 that the IRB officially and retrospectively recognised and endorsed the event as a World Cup when it published for the first time a list of previous winners. So we're speaking about Thierry Henry in Paris, so to give you some scale of the time. Thierry Henry, Boris Egalam. Like at that time, in that year, 2009, Gavil Sani, Savlin Shin, still the IRB would not recognise any form or any idea of a Women's Rugby World Cup. And then fast forward 16 years and you see the attendance at these matches now going on Maid Dínig Dulg Gina Clicky show, and you see the women's football, women's soccer as well, selling out the Camp Nou a few years ago in Barcelona, Exil Amach on Camp Nou, no Nou Camp, Houston Shin in Barcelona, the Chlehe Kupla Blino hin, and the massive attendances that games get. It's amazing how quickly it's changed and how quickly it's come on, and the progress. Tá sé duchredse on méid dul chun cín atá le feicáil an sin sa sport agus sa sport na man generalt and women's sport in general. There's some really crazy bits in this 1991 Wikipedia, but obviously Wikipedia, usual, caveats, but presume most this is true. The tournament made a financial loss due in some parts to the fact that the men's 91 Rugby World Cup was also being held in Europe that year, But another financial this is crazy. Another financial drain to the tournament was due to the Soviet Union team being unable to pay its hotel and transport bills, as Soviets were not permitted to leave the country with hard currency. The team had hoped to survive by bartering and selling goods such as vodka and trinkets such as Russian dolls. These activities were curtailed after they aroused the attention of HM, Customs and Excise, and the Soviets relied on contributions by local Cardiff businesses to survive. Like, níd no cahain. Níl ag láirt fin na trocadín ó an chéad cogad down that níd no cahain, Like the Smiths were around by this point. Oasis were about to come in. If you want to measure it by music, ma thought they were going a chur a go hikes on Kjol to put it in kind of music context. So it's crazy how quickly it's changed and how quickly things have come on. But yeah, I'm really harping on this podcast. So last few points in terms of sport from the weekends on Cúpla Pointe Dearnach Madra leis an sport ag an Deire Seachtainna. Roy McIlroy winning the Irish Open, amazing scenes there. Raichan na duchredse an sin ag an K-Club. Some Cowell on K-Club. Kildare, we'll say. Kildare, I think it's near the Dublin border. I know it's near the Dublin airport, but I think it's Kildare. Ceapan Gúilte I Kildare an sin. Ach, Raichan na duchredse on sin tá sé mar an dara Irish Open at the boots egg. It's the second Irish Open he's won, and he did it in dramatic circumstances. Rinne sé go drama tool Kinsa. I only saw the very end of it, the last bit of the playoff. Hunnick me on piece of Jarnachton playoff because I was out myself playing a bit of snooker, which is sport I've really gotten into over the last few months. Fi me much piece of snooker sport will me Goffalesh initially coupling me a noose. That was brilliant, and again, see the amount of young kids there, and again, the idea, for me, McIlroy winning the Irish Open, that in itself, and the prize money and whatever, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's not going to change my life for anyone listening. It's not going to change your life. Neil say on the Hale Hain Ahru, but it will change is the amount of kids playing the game, the amount of kids who were there. Unbelievable how young the crowd was and the amount of children there was watching McIlroy win. And McVeighan Sir McIlroy agus bhí siad, an sin is dócha os chóir gachtainna sa slua. They were kind of in front of everyone at the crowd. Looks brilliant. Bhí cuma intagar and everybody's so excited. Bhí gachtainna ar bís, and feels like really Ireland is more behind McIlroy than maybe they were 5 or 10 years ago. Tá éire ceapam níos níos mór son McIlroy inis ná mar bhí siad blionto hin when there's more arguments about his identity, and there doesn't need to be an argument. It doesn't matter whether he's Protestant or Catholic or sees himself as a British or Irish. He's from the island of Ireland. Get behind him, support him. It's as Ilan Heron a Tachilesh, come on. And that was brilliant for Shin Gohintuk, and again the impact that's going to have on kids going into the game and signing up at driving ranges and golf clubs agus páistí ag dul isteachtain cluiche déanú rudaí ag gimmert golf, and hopefully again more funding for the game, níos mó muoinú dul cluiche and so on. So that was really good as well. In the other two versions of the podcast, I spoke a little bit about the F1, so dá lag an elegant fud creile. I kind of finish off the podcast creating me on show speaking about a bit about the F1. I think I've spoken too much now. Ceapan goal a number of kinds of Jane Tugmanish, but if you want to hear my thoughts on that as well, very brief thoughts, I must say, pointy Gara Shin, then you can head to the other two versions of the podcast this week. Tatuan Dolg Zina Lakanacha Ella Jan Fodgarla on Sockton. Sure, but I think I will finish it up here. Ceapan goal me Hun Creek a chur leis on Bud Creile on show. Don't forget, if you want a PDF of all the most complicated terms and words used in this podcast, you can sign up as a member at patreon.com/Learn Irish Online or Learn Irish Online on the Patreon app. It's just one of many, many, many benefits. Just ceann one to Lon Tarvey Ian to Marwall or Learn Irish Online. One of the many benefits you get as a member at Learn Irish Online. You also get early access to this podcast, as I mentioned earlier. Find to and put Carla Shaw Law of One Nisluha, Mar Dorch me Nisluha. As I said earlier, you get the podcast one day earlier. But more than anything, you get exclusive access to H3, Leafocht, Egastru, Smoisy Saharn, all the different podcasts, videos, shows we do to help you improve your Irish. And it only costs €7 a month, and you get a free trial if you want to try it out for a week. Montatu Egiri a Frido Mac Arfa Shachtana. That is it, guys. Wrap it up there for the time being. Tomei Hun Creek, a chur lesh Bud Creile. Anish, big thank you as always for listening. Gur míle mad as a vet agéisteacht mar is ganach. Any questions or feedback about the podcast? liam.learnishisonline@gmail.com. That's liam.learnishisonline@gmail.com. And I'll speak to you guys next week. Lorma live on Sockton Shahug. Goodbye and God bless. Slán agus Bannacht.